We keep seeing this thing over and over. Results of political trends survey in Q1. We're moving over now to the Nation newspaper this morning. On the Nation, 22 firms get 16.1 billion naira in first tranche of 75 billion relief loan. How Medipool will crash prices of medicines by parte. 1.9 trillion naira oversubscribed Sukuk cash for refund. Our tragedies by Mokwa, flood victims. All the details you can find on the Nation newspaper. On the Daily Times, judiciary workers begin nationwide indefinite strike today. NDLEA arrests 2 Saudi-bound pilgrims, intercepts 9.3 billion naira upwards. 9.3 billion. I'm really shocked and I'm really surprised with the amount of persons that have been nabbed for using the Hajj situation, the Hajj travel, to transport, hard drugs. You wonder what has been happening. So many people use that route, over time, over the years. Maybe there hasn't been any much check because everybody would feel you are a holy person, you're going to the Holy Land, you wouldn't have those things, stashed in your bag. But I'm not saying anything, but recently Sheikh Gumi was deported. I'm not saying that he was having drugs, but he was deported. Nobody knows what and why he was deported, even though he's been the only one speaking on the reasons why he was deported. But it's beginning to, feel like it's a trend. People getting caught with cocaine going into, the Holy Land. It's crazy. All right, to some other headlines on the Daily Times newspaper. Amechi gave Tinubu dose of his own medicine in 2022. Wole Soyinka speaks. Federal government backs NSITF expansion of employers' compensation for public workers. All right. Still on the Daily Times newspaper, Nigeria security and political economy. You can find out the write-up on that particular paper. Over now to the This Day newspaper. On this day this morning, Fitch upgrades Fidelity Bank's national rating to A+ NGA, affirms long-term IDR at B. ECOWAS, Dangote refinery symbolizes hope for Africa. Founder has continental vision. U.S. links surge in Nigeria's terror attacks to exit from Niger and Chad. Says it's no longer able to monitor their activities in Africa. Declares Sahel region global terrorism epicenter. States tenor group may soon be able to strike inside U.S. Alleges China only interested in access to Africa's resources. Wabara to National Assembly. Our democracy under state capture. Rise up to the challenge. Niger floods disaster. Turkey condones federal government as Buhari Akpabio mourn 122 lives lost in deluge. Kano auto crash. All the details on This Day newspaper. And now to the Punch newspaper. On the Punch this morning, terrorists eyeing Nigeria on West Africa coastline, says U.S. Grim toll. States move to evacuate flood zones. With the rider, Niger buries 153. States brace for heavy rains. Citizens plead for action. Mokwa survivors fear diseases outbreak. All the details on the Punch. And still there, defamation. Natasha to appear in court on Tuesday. 7 banks reserves with CBN surge to 18.8 trillion naira. Nigeria's petrol price 55% below West African average, says Dangote. NDLEA intercepts Saudi-bound pilgrims with drugs. Withheld allocation. Osun taps projects funds to pay local government workers. And now to the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the Guardian, 2027, opposition coalition shops for candidates as APC marks efforts. Economy not in crisis, says presidency as Afenifere rates Tinubu low. Subscribers lament as fiber cuts disrupt services nationwide. ECOWAS at 50, a legacy at a crossroads. All right. Let's do this before we get to the table. On the Vanguard, federal government's gas-powered vehicle scheme runs into major hitch nationwide. That's on the Vanguard. 85.6 billion investments threatened, 50 killed, 15 parishes shot by armed headers in Makari, a diocese. Catholic priest speaks. Still on the Vanguard, APC primaries, Amechi gave Tinubu dose of his own medicine, says Soyinka. Nigeria, 6 others affected by Saudi Arabia suspends block work visa. Debt burden, no sin in borrowing, says presidency. Dangote refinery symbolizes hope for Africa, says ECOWAS. 2027, Tinubu should not play God. Sule Lamido speaks. WAEG, thugs hired by parents assault vice principal for preventing cheating in Ondo. Wow. Thugs hired by parents assault vice principal for preventing cheating in Ondo State. Federal government orders employee compensation scheme for civil servants. And that's all we can take on the front pages of the dailies this morning. We're back to the table. Chris is on the table this morning. Good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Charles. And good morning, the people of the world and all the good people who have, may God bless everyone who loves peace.
Indeed. God bless everyone who loves peace, but I'm not too sure that this peace is enjoyed by those in Niger State. Mokwa is under serious threats. The flood, when I saw the video the first time, I was thinking it was a clip from a movie. Maybe, these days there's nothing AI cannot do.
Generate movies of that.
So
over the weekend, we talked about it with Chigi on this platform. We were talking about when they come about, it's only this morning they've put the figures together. Initially, during the weekend, there was 100 dead, 71 buried, 100 missing. Now, I said, why are these breaking it? If flood, a deluge like that came, and they swept people away, and you can't find them, put that figures as people you've lost. So why trying to sound as if told you just to bring down the number? That in Mokwa, on the average, because I said the people of Mokwa have not even said how much people they are losing. Some of them don't even know what happened. It still sounds like a dream to some. I am sure that over 400 people are just nowhere to be found in that. The lodge and them, that's it. But we were talking about the warning given by NIMET, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. And we talked about it here. So I don't want to repeat myself. Whatever has happened is history. Now, this morning we thought about, we saw a headline where they're saying planning to. There will still be Nigerian government, and the NIMET warned about the states in Nigeria who will come under this flood. I am sure in all those states, most of their government establishment are planning the defection. Nobody is talking about flood and what you will do. And this is the peak of rainy season. So when we have clearly planned to fail, all these crocodile tears, I'm sorry to say, speeches that do not add up to anything coming from government officials. The people that are suffering are still the wretched of the ordinary Nigerians. Out of that figure in Mokwa, just mention one person that is in power, in an establishment where decisions are made that will drive action. Tell me, it's the common women, children, farmers, ordinary people. It's Niger State, Mokwa today. What next? How many commissioners of environment, even the Federal Minister of Environment, special duties, there are so many PA to the President, SA to the President, PPA, SSA, all the chain of positions that are related, allied, ministry, department, agency, MDAs, that are linked up with the environment and this flooding. How many of you had saying anything? What they're interested in fire, messing after death, and corruption will still come in there. The president has ordered relief and evacuation and all. And they are seeing it as Niger State. Along the line of Niger State, people who also share the river Niger with Niger State are many states. What action? Nothing. At least not to the knowledge of people, because if they are working, they should tell people what they are doing. We are all stakeholders. Make noise about positive actions you are taking so that people will know. At the end of it all, you will say, you go down into history and people will witness that this so-so and so-so state, before this flood came, they did this. Now, this is where Niger State is thinking about evacuation. This is the time. With the sacrifice of over 400 people, women and children, and some of them young Nigerians. And so you see what Nigerians are going through? There is road accident that claimed young prime energy Nigerians who are coming back from the National Sports Festival. 22. The government quickly announced 1 million naira to the families. And that's all. People who went to represent their states. When they were going, they had to go on that long stretch from Kano to the venue of the event on road. But when they died, their corpses were flown back to Kano. Shame on Nigeria. You prepared some young Nigerians, set them up, and with what stories that are going, I've heard people say it is our time election, they're definitely planning for 2027. Who knows? Because if a ritual, murders and all these people and all these vampires everywhere, whether economic or whatever kind of vampire they are vampire all the same. There's nothing that they can do. For 2027, this is what has happened. The young people are going to represent your state. They don't deserve to enter flight. But when they died, their corpses were sent back home. Good luck to Nigeria. Let's move on. 50 killed, 15 perished. This shot down arm headers in Makurdi. The Makurdi is, we are waiting for state of emergency to be declared. That won't be done because it doesn't yield the political, but the insecurity situation in Benue, Plateau State, Borno should receive highest state emergency declaration. If you grade it, it should be 100%. This is what we hear every day. There's no day in the last 3 months I sit here to review newspaper, we don't count figures. Figures of Nigerians going like that. Put it together. And I said here, if Nigerian politicians are expecting that Nigerians will vote for them, they should have been concerned. But they don't need our vote. As far as we can, they're all safe and sound in Abuja.
This is sad, really. I mean, if there's a call for a state of emergency right now in Benue State, I'm not sure that anybody's going to kick against it because it's about time. I mean, I don't understand.
Can you imagine? The other day, I saw a viral video of the chairman of a local government. He was just crying. The guy was just devastated. Every day as chairman of local government, they call me and show me cups. I buried 20 yesterday. I'm burying 3 now. This is so children 2 years, and the man broke down. Now look at the figure. The Reverend Catholic Church priest reporting that on Vanguard.
The number is alarming, really.
Today's news is so much. The debt burden, it's not seen to borrow. The popular argument going around and people are going livid with anger. You stopped subsidy on oil and gas, our lifeline. And you told Nigerians that you did this to stop borrowing. For how many months? 702 days in office. Because the first speech that our president made was to stop oil subsidy. We were expecting by now a dividend. Now, the funniest thing is that what we are borrowing, we are not borrowing to cushion the effect. And you ask Nigeria, who did this to us? You said, if we stop borrowing, if we stop subsidizing oil and gas, people are buying it at the market price. We will not go into borrowing and borrowing. Now you stop that with hardship and hunger. And now you're not borrowing more than we would have borrowed. More than we would have borrowed if we were still, you know, more than we wouldn't have borrowed. Yeah. Let me put it right that way. If we are still having oil subsidy. And you say you're a government of hope, and people are running around scoring government 100%, and government came out openly to say it is no sin to borrow. That is not our argument. Nobody has said, come for confession that borrowing is a sin. No. We borrow for what? The federal allocation FAC said over 67% of has increased in what states get. What did they do with it? What did the state do? Who is calling them to account? The state governors? Can you imagine the percentage? 69 or 67.5 or what percent is the increase since they removed the oil subsidy, or since this government started? And these governors kept mute. And everybody is pointing at Abuja and federal government. And they are costing home dry. Some of them, you go to their states, all you find is big, beautiful signboards. Ex-governor is working. The same Nigerians, of course, Charles, you said it all. The ones who are on the desk, when they are eating, they don't talk. They're ethical. They maintain etiquette, table manners. So when you're on the table chopping, you don't talk. So good luck to those who are chopping. Maybe why we're talking is that we're not chopping. But then, beyond that, there is, how can they don't have human mind, conscience, and then look at the life of Nigeria. Look at life. Nothing, virtually nothing is working. Insecurity, people are dying. Hardship and hunger, people can't buy anything. Just check the life. And we are borrowing every day. Before the president dreams of borrowing, National Assembly has approved it. We borrow so that they will be on 29 million salary every month. Senators and federal reps. All the ministers, everybody, every day, new appointment. Tinubu is approving new appointment. And once they are getting back there, all the governors are using whatever they have gotten from this FAC allocation, the increase, to support Tinubu for second tenure, so that they buy back their second tenure in office. That's all we are finding. So Nigeria has come to a fault. We began campaign for 2027. So we are not expecting anything to happen to all these cries. As far as they are concerned, when we get to 2017, the few Nigerians that are left, that's when they will tell you, they either come and vote or you stay in your house, they rig the election. If they hope that Nigerians will vote for them, by now, they should be talking to us. Now, a president of ECOWAS said Dangote can supply. And I said, what a fulfillment of a prophet not appreciated in his own country. It takes the president of an ECOWAS country to come and tell Nigerians that Dangote, what you are looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto. That Dangote you have has a refinery that can supply refined PMS or petroleum products to African countries, that it can sustain. Now, it becomes the issue of Onya Tatagotaigo. The people who could not make it out, the ones who have mega government-financed refineries, who have been in the old drum for 28 years, are interested in Dangote, private man who and they call themselves NNPCL. Good luck, NNPCL.
Right.
After managing Port Harcourt refinery, who has gone back into the drone, Warri, Kaduna, you look for Dangote refinery to manage. And when you finish, you go into the bush to manage refineries that are being run by the disgruntled young boys and girls who are looking for way of survival. That's what they do. They are bombing them every day while you have not gotten one drop of gas, and you are going to bomb the ones who are refining to sell. You just want everyone to fall into line. Good luck, Nigeria. We are still here. God bless everyone.
Chris, many thanks. Truly appreciate your insights on the headlines this morning. We're back after the short break.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking. Events occur and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
With a population of about 36 million people, the Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges, completed and uncompleted projects, bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT.
Right Reverend Egbuonu, who is holding his second synod since he assumed office as Bishop of Oji River, anchored his sermon on the theme of the synod, which is Occupy Till I Come. He stressed the need for integrity, wisdom, and spiritual guardians in leadership.
We came to have synod here in the spiritual way that we program the synod will come here today. If not, it will not come.
From St. John's Abada Alachi, the event shifted to St. Paul's Cathedral, Oji River, where the bishop performed the investiture of 4 outstanding personalities, including Dr. Kingsley Eze, Rear Admiral Kennedy Ezete, Ifeoma Egbuonu, and Eunice Uzoigwe into the Order of the Knights of St. Paul. The bishop administered the oath on the new knights, highlighting the spiritual importance of their calling.
I admit him as member and hereby invest you into the order of the Knights of St. Paul. The same is true as a token of authority and pledges. And this song of the Spirit. And may the Lord be with you and yours, your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore.
Among those that were conferred with the knighthood was Dr. Kingsley Eze, the Group Chief Executive Officer of Tennessee Holdings Limited, a reputable conglomerate with interest in information, technology, real estate, manufacturing and agriculture. Dr. Eze said he was humbled and honored to be made a knight in the Anglican Church where he was brought up with a sound Christian principles.
The history of knighthood is a chronicle of ordinary men over the years who dedicated their life for the defense and promotion and development of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So for me, it's an honor for the recognition, but most importantly, it's also a burden. It's a burden understanding what is expected of me, and I can only pray that God helps me.
He pledged to continue using all he has in serving God and humanity to justify his new calling.
My promise to the church is that I will continue to be myself. I will continue to be a defender and a supporter of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'll continue to do anything I can in my powers to make sure that the gospel of Jesus Christ is propagated and that the church is established the way Christ desired it. That's my commitment, and I can only pray that God helps me.
Mrs. Egbuonu, wife of the bishop who was made a dame, the title for female knight, said her investiture will embolden her the more in her work of evangelism. She said that no sacrifice or effort is ever enough in spreading the gospel of salvation.
I feel taking a responsibility to God's call. And as I said earlier on, it's not about the title, it's all about the responsibility. If God has called you to be a partner with him in his vineyard, it is an honor. So I feel honored and I feel privileged. So I'm not taking it for granted. It's like God trusting you to entrust something into your hands.
The president of the Council of Knights of the Oji River Diocese, Amos Nwokoro, expressed joy at the investiture of the new knights and expressed the hope that they will help in pushing the various projects being initiated by Bishop Egbuonu in Oji River.
And we as council members, we are his backbone. There is no way we can go back. So we must follow him. He is actually in a 100 meters dash, and we are equal to the task as Council of Knights.
The work set by the diocese under the new bishop is no doubt numerous, and the pledge by the knights reflects their devotion and commitment to fostering spiritual growth and contributing to the church's mission. This is in line with the ancient order of knighthood rooted in the rich traditions of the Anglican Church, which requires members to embody the values of courage, compassion, and humility as they strive to serve Christ and their community with unwavering dedication. From Oji River, Ugonne Owalo, reporting for Signature TV.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
In the heart of Ababanike, a major suburb in the ENUGU Capital Territory, the bulldozers are on duty, so are the tippers. They are there to achieve a common result, to revolutionize the road infrastructure and ultimately boost the economic activities in and around the corridor. This is, however, coming with immense pain and stress. One of the most pressing concerns is the sudden increase in transportation costs, with tricycle operators charging 400 naira as against the usual 250 naira for the same distance. This development has made that mode of transport unaffordable for some commuters.
But for me to load at Texaco and follow the lake road we have to I have to charge you 500 for it. Then coming back, I will charge you 400 and drop you there. Get to your destination. Sometimes you get issues with your passengers because they will actually drop them at the normal bus stop. You drop them there. You start having issues with them. It's very, very difficult. They are really finding it difficult, as you can see.
The keke drivers, however, justify the increase, saying they have to navigate through congested alternative routes, increasing the operational cost and reducing their profit margins. The driver complained of a decline in the number of passengers, translating to reduced income.
You cannot carry 2 passengers there, 600 to all the way to Aba. You talk of the fuel consumption, the bad road from this Tazol or Uboye. understand? So you must be complete a number before we can now carry you from that intercorner to Ababa. Because the 300 is 1 2. Then that one is not even up to the money we buy fuel. It's just that we don't know what to do again.
Chiomona, a student, recounted the daily struggles she faced since the road construction began. Forced to trek long distance to access transportation, Chioma described the exhausting experience of walking to distant bus stops and how she struggles to compose herself for lectures.
And for me, like as a student, because at first the bus we normally like park at its park, but now we have to trek like very far for us to get, to the bus stop for us to get bus. And before we get to school, we have been like exhausted and tired.
Echoing Chioma's sentiment, Chris Anibogo expressed his frustration on how the project impacted his daily life.
It's not been easy for us, those of us living at this axis. You can imagine the distance we now have to walk down, down to where we can now begin to board vehicles to take us to where we need to go to. So it's really not been easy. It's been very tough.
They pleaded with the contractors to finish the job early.
I plead for the government to please hasten up in the road construction, because it has been hard for us students in particular, because honestly, it's so tiring for us.
We will endure for now. But then we appeal to the contractors to hasten up.
Emmanuel Moses, a furniture maker, expressed his distress, revealing that his shop has been marked for demolition by the government even when it was not supposed to be affected. Moses appealed to the government for compensation because of the imminent loss of his means of livelihood.
Actually, I have a showroom here where I drop all my stuff. So yesterday again, we had a complaint that this whole place is still going again, and they're expanding the road, and it's still a challenge for us. I think the government should compensate us.
The Ababa Road construction project, though a welcome development, brings with it pains, discomfort, and agony. But as the saying goes, there is no gain without pain. And need we say that you cannot make an omelette without breaking the egg?
From the streets of Ababalike, ENUGU, Egbuonu reporting for Signature TV.
Welcome back. It's 8:46 a.m. It's a Monday, the 2nd of June, 2025. Hope you're good. All right, today we're going to be switching gears to talk about gospel artists and the industry, the challenges of a gospel artist in a morally changing world. Of course, you can say that when it comes to gospel, there's usually these challenges that comes with several of them trying to scale up, or maybe drifting from singing gospel songs to doing other songs that are secular, and you wonder if it's really the true essence of why gospel music was in the first place that they embarked upon. Sister Blessing Ukamaka is here with us to speak on this issue. Good to have you, Blessing. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Sister Blessing Ukamaka Chidebere.
How are you?
I'm all fine, sir.
I understand that you are a gospel artist.
Yeah, I'm a gospel artist.
You're a gospel artist?
Yes.
Okay, how's it been doing gospel in Nigeria?
Gospel is very fine in Nigeria, because gospel music is the one that's trending everywhere, which everybody knows. And you know that the gift is from God. As a singer, it's come from God. And the only thing we're having challenges in gospel artists, one of them is lack of funds. At the beginning, you may start, but you didn't have money. You'll be feeling that you're just going for that challenges. How will I cope? How will I make? Especially if you didn't have sponsor. That's another thing. But at the beginning, as a child of God, you know that God will see you through. Because that music you are singing is from God. It's not from man. The God whom you serve will help you. He will lead you through. Because I know some have something they will do to perform as a musician, but they have money to go to studio. That's the main thing, the challenge they are facing.
Okay, that's the main challenge for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Their music will be in that studio before they will get money, except if they have sponsor. That's another thing that will help them. If they have sponsor, it's only sponsor that will help. And it's come from above, our maker, Lord Jesus Christ. That's number one challenges gospel artists are having.
Well, again, another point of call would be, how do you balance the coining of your word? Because again, a lot of gospel artists want to achieve mainstream success. How do you balance those usage of your language for edifying of God and praising God, and then the success that comes with mainstream secular world?
Why? As a gospel artist, that gift is from God. Since you have determined, God will help you see it through. The only thing, be bold and know that you are serving your maker. The one that gave you the song will see you through.
So is it possible for a gospel artist to maintain spirituality while they are trying to also sing to the public?
Yes, it's supposed to maintain. It's possible.
How?
Because as a believer, the gift is from Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit of God will direct you. Because the book of, according to his word, John chapter 14, is a helper, our comforter. He will comfort you. He will lead you through so that you will not make mistake. That's why I say that the gospel is from God. The music is from God.
But again, the issue here is not whether the music is from God, because those who are even singing in the secular world also say that their own talent is also from God.
Yeah.
If you're a musician, whether gospel or secular, the gift is also from God.
Yes, it's true.
All right, so but the question is, how do you sing your song? And some people also say that those who are more successful in the industry are actually those in the mainstream, those doing secular. Are you pressured as someone who is a gospel artist to sing like every other person does?
Yes. The pressure, yes. Because, you know, the pressure to conform to worldly standards. Yes. Because gospel, either you not follow them to sing as they go, just focus on how God directs you. Don't look at the worldly pattern. You follow how God directs you. The Holy Spirit teach you. We direct to Him Himself. Don't follow them. You know how God directs you. Follow that way. Don't look at, oh, let me go and sing how the other person is singing. You just focus on that gospel you are singing. Don't follow the artist as a gospel.
How do you soak up the pressure? How do you, because I mean, this is a world that is pressured. If you sing one song and the song never achieved 100 likes, even on a major platform.
Push, because the song will be coming. You push another song, God will give you another song to perform. You say, push another one. Or the another thing that helps you make some of the, like TV, this TV signature, like they will help you more. All these channels also, they will help you push your music. So if to go to all the whole world, they will hear you. There's another thing that will make the music to move, to perform very well.
Right. In a world where everybody loves to push the likes, the streams, you know, the YouTube platforms and the likes, do you think that spirituality still matters in singing songs that edify the public?
Spirituality matters. Because there is nothing that you could do without God. Spirituality.
The reason I'm saying that is because somebody like, I can, from the top of my head, tell you people like Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid. I can tell you, but out of the top of my head, I cannot list more than 2 or 3 gospel artists, and that's largely because their songs are not really viral. Their songs are not really out there, and even if they are, it's just very few. People are not really observant to listening to them per se like their worldly counterparts. Why is that?
No, their own is okay. Their own they are doing is okay. The gospel, the one they are doing is okay. So it depends depends the one you like. Some like all their own music. Some like gospel. But my own, I so love gospel. There are some like those tracks like them. But my own, some people like gospel. So it depends your choice.
So what kind of gospel songs do you do?
I do gospel. It's Christian. Can I just sing one?
No, you sing later, but what type do you do? Like what type, what kinds of songs? What inspires your kinds of songs?
Oh, what inspires God? Because sometimes I'll just be doing anything I want to do. That song will be flowing. I'll say, God. I didn't know that I even one. I was so surprised. I said, God. Because I know when I'm growing, I used to sing. I say, I didn't know where this song is leading me. I said, God, all I know to take over. Because I know it's from you.
So, specifically now, what inspires your kind of song?
My song is Christian music.
Christian music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's Christian songs. It's gospel.
Yeah.
Is there anything around your life or the outside life that inspires your kind of songs?
Oh, the miracle God is doing. I say, wow, that God is too much. I say, let me start lifting this God high because it's too much. The miracle He's doing. There's one miracle He performed, even in 1 Samuel, how give Anna. Hi, that was surprising. I was shocked. I said, God, you are a miracle working God.
So what your gospel, your songs now, I'm talking about, the activities of God. What kind of miracles inspires your kind of songs? When you say God's miracles, what kinds of miracles?
The kind of miracle, I've seen God when someone is sick, be calling God, that God will heal you. That's why I say, one of my songs, I'll say, God, you are the healer.
All right. Interesting. So you said you wanted to sing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go ahead and sing. You can sing any of the song. Do you have an album?
Yes. And with my album.
You have an album?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a lead song from that album?
Yes.
Okay. So just sing a line or two for us.
Jesus biara rekele mo. Ayama uwo rebube gi chioma. Eze biara rekele anyi o. Awuwo mi neme. Ebube neme ma oyoma. Awuwo mo rebube gi ai. Chinke Julius Aribe. Awuwo mo rebube gi ai. Oke chimo dadi oyoma. Awuwo rebube gi chioma. Eze biara rekele mo. Awuwo rebube chioma. Dadi biara rekele mo. Ayama awuwo rebube gi chioma. Jesus biara rekele mo.
All right, that's fine. That's great. That's great. I can imagine if this was laced with sounds, instrumentals, how melodious, it would be. And I now know how your songs are placed. It's really emotional, something that can build one's spirit, to connect to Christ directly. All right, quite interesting. So, what for you think that young artists can learn from the life that we live today?
They will learn something. They will learn to know God, to focus on God. Because it's only God can do all things. According to His word, Job 42 verse 2, that He can do all things. Jeremiah 32 verse 20 say that nothing is too difficult for Him. He can do all things. It's also one of my albums.
Right. So, beyond what these young people can learn, how pressured the society is, how bad the society is, moral decadence, how bad the economy can push people into doing things that they don't want to do. Do you think that your gospel, your kind of gospel, is helping? Because even with a number of gospel artists that we have and the amount of gospel songs that are out there, we still have people who are morally bankrupt, who you can't really pitch and talk to, and they're able to change their lives. Do you think more these gospel songs that you sing is even having any impact on the lives of people?
Yes, God will use this gospel to touch their life.
But it doesn't seem to, because I'm saying that the ones that we have released, the gospel artists that has been in existence, including you, we're saying that these songs of yours are not in any way impacting the lives of people because our society is morally bankrupt. Do you think your gospel artists, your gospel songs are actually in any way having impact on the lives of Nigerian people?
Yes, those that have played the tracks, my gospel song, they are even given testimony, testify that he's okay. He's touching their soul. He's making them to know about God. Because I know this time, nowadays, that people are going somewhere, doing a lot of things, but with God, as they're playing all those Christian songs, God will touch their life and they will change, and God will take over in their life. All those mistakes, I know all those errors is from devil. Because I know devil come to destroy. But Jesus come for us to have life and have it more abundantly.
Are there ways that you think that your gospel can be heard more, that you think that can be harnessed? Because, like I said, that's my personal conviction. It seems to me like gospel songs are not doing any much. Just like what the church does today. I mean, you have churches littered everywhere in the country. You still don't have people improve in their moral standings. The same way you have gospel artists everywhere, and they still not having any moral impact on the people. So do you think that it's anything to go by, given what we are seeing?
Yes, we don't look at those challenges that's facing the world today. That's why I say you focus on God, because God is everything. It's God that will make them to change from those character. Anyone that is something that is not good, God will touch this and they will change from it. It's only to be praying for them as we used to do so. One day God will change the character because it's God that created him or she.
I assume you sing in a church.
Yeah.
You sing in a church.
Yeah.
You sing every Sunday in the church. You are in a choir.
Yeah.
How is the church generally doing?
They are fear anointed. They will say, "Yeah, wow, God is too much. That God is using this song. Some are changing from doing good thing, from bad thing to good thing." So I say, let me, in fact, because of this song, this gospel song I'm hearing, let me just serve this God. Because he's the creator of the whole universe. Because of that song, people are even changing from their bad character, be doing good things in the world now.
Right. Do you intend to make monies from your songs?
Yes, but for money, I'm not, for this gift, I didn't focus to make, I know that God will give me, because his word saying that every other thing shall be added, that I should seek him first. I should not look to man to come and give me. It's only to focus on God. God will direct the person. God will touch that person to come and say, "Oh, my daughter, because of this, take this." But for you to be people, because of that song, using that song to make money, which is supposed not to be, is somehow.
So you don't think it is possible that God gave you this talent for you to sing to the world and still make money out of it?
I know that will make money, but there is a way. The one I'm talking about, some people, instead of them to go and what God told them to perform it, they'll be looking for money to perform their duty and forget it's God, the creator. They are singing that song.
Do you believe that you can still sing to serve God And still, while you are singing to serve God, you are still also making money from that singing.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Because God, that's why I say God will touch someone. If